Namaste and welcome once again. In this episode of the Indian ID, I will discuss a topic or rather technology that's on everyone's minds, laptops, and smartphones these days. I know I'm a bit late to this party, but I do hope that the insights I share will help you to use this technology intelligently. Before I dive into the topic, I would like to set the context with the help of a few anecdotes. Before the printing press was invented, scribes were employed in large numbers to painstakingly hand copy manuscripts. Obviously, this job function soon became obsolete. But on the other hand, the printing industry boomed and employed a large number of people, albeit in new roles. That's the nature of every disruptive technology. While some roles cease to exist, new ones emerge. What you just saw was an interaction with ChatGPT when it was initially launched. Why do you think ChatGPT got the answer wrong to this question? Apparently, AI models work through a process known as tokenization, in which text is divided into parts and tokens are assigned to each part. In this case, the word strawberry was divided into straw and berry, and ChatGPT only counted the letter R in the latter part of the word, which is berry. Of course, this has been rectified. This only goes to show that technology can make mistakes too, just like we humans do. Also, technology evolves, again, just like we humans evolve. I first used ChatGPT to generate a storyboard in January 2023. This is the prompt that I used. And I must say that it did a fairly decent job. The storyboard format was fine, the learning outcomes perfectly written, and the content points clearly explained. What I found lacking was a nuanced explanation of the content with the help of examples and non examples. This was easily rectified with a follow up prompt as shown here. The output that is generated by any AI tool like ChatGPT depends upon the prompt that is input by the user, much like the way we input keywords and phrases in Google search. As instructional designers, I think we have an advantage when we write prompts. This is because of the intensive training we have in writing learning outcomes. Let me explain with the help of an example. You start writing a prompt by specifying the key task, and this is similar to the action or performance verb that we use when we write learning outcomes. Next, you specify the context, the audience, and the delivery media. This is similar to the condition component of learning outcomes. Finally, you list the key content points that need to be explained, and this maps to the criteria component of learning outcomes. Now, we are in the latter half of 2024, and there are a number of AI tools at the disposal of instructional designers. There is Guide and Scribe AI, which you can use for software documentation. These tools capture the screen and the workflow as you work through an application. So all that you have to do is to add text input against each step and your technical documentation is ready. Then you have Adobe Firefly and DALL-E for generating images. Croc and Boobs are AI tools that you can use for generating storyboards. And now you have Articulate 360 and Rise 360 with inbuilt AI assistants which instructional designers can use to write learning outcomes, paraphrase content, summarize content, generate questions, and even generate image and video from text prompts. Wow! Last month, I was reviewing an assignment submitted by a student. The assignment brief was to write a scenario-based storyboard with roleplay and dialogues. As I reviewed the storyboard, I found it technically sound, but there was something amiss. The dialogue seemed a wee bit exaggerated and melodramatic. I decided to check whether this had been generated by using ChatGPT. So I input the prompt and waited. And to my surprise, it generated an exactly same storyboard, very similar to what the student had submitted. Even the name of the customer service executive was the same, Alex. Then I used ChatGPT to generate a multiple choice question. The output that I got would not be passed by any subject matter expert or a senior instructional designer. As you can see, option B is the correct answer. It is the longest one, and the other options, which are distractors, either have negative words or additional words that make them easily a giveaway as distractors. Then I also used another AI tool for generating a question. Again, as you can see here, option B is the correct answer. Option A is easily a distractor because of the presence of the word always, and option C is a distractor because of the presence of the negative word irrelevant. These few experiences caused a voice in my head to say, "Hey, wait." This is not the only problem with AI. There is an elephant in the room that very few people are willing to talk about. Last year, a large visual communications company sued a company that created an AI-based image generator. The reason was that this company had trained its AI model by using images, associated metadata, and captions of the visual communications company without taking their permission. The case was filed in the United States and is still going on. You see, most AI platforms are trained on existing data available on the internet. Now, this gives rise to three questions. 1. If an AI model is trained using data that is copyright protected, then does this amount to copyright infringement? As per a report made by the World Economic Forum in January 2024, there is little clarity around this. 2. If the AI model is trained on data that is not copyright protected, then who owns the content that is generated using the AI platform? Most AI platforms in their terms of use state that any content that is generated by a user belongs to the user. This is again as per the report published by World Economic Forum. A link to this report is given in the description section of this video. 3. If two different users input a similar prompt and the output is almost exactly the same, then who owns the copyright to this content? I don't think this has been addressed yet. So you see, AI tools are very helpful. They increase productivity and they also make our tasks much easier. But then there are some issues surrounding the use of these tools, and as instructional designers, we must be cognizant of these. I hope that you found this video useful. If you did, please do like, subscribe, and share. That's all for today. Goodbye and have a good day. Namaste.